Hi everyone. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video, but just in case, I'm going to at least make it.
Pause video. Stop record. Pause video. Speech off.
And I'm going to turn the speech off now because it's going to start telling me that there's no one in the picture. And I mean, it probably is because I actually wrote some notes because I can swerve and then forget what the hell I was going to say. So you're going to stop seeing me. Sorry, but that's just the way it's going to be. What do I always say? If you're here to watch and actually take things in with your eyes, you're on the wrong channel. It's about what you hear on these videos, not what you see anyway. So, this is the first video that, I mean, I might have thrown up videos that were like, I might have posted videos that were meant to get you to think before, but this is probably the first time I've talked about this. It's just something that I'm thinking about today, and I guess I just wanted to share it with people. I am not a parent, and as precious as babies are, I don't think I would want to be a parent because the baby, that sweet little bundle of adorableness that you hold in your arms and love on, they grow up to have a mind of their own and opinions, and it becomes someone's job to raise them properly, and that's a job that I don't expect is easy. But first of all, I wouldn't want that job. Secondly, I would want better. Oh God, I've got to be so careful about how I talk about this. I would want better for my child than I would want my child to feel better about themselves than I grew up feeling about myself. Let's just put it that way. There are whole stories that I could tell. I don't know if I ever will, and if I do, I won't be telling a story time on YouTube about my childhood or whatever. At least I'm not planning to. I'll be telling them whatever stories I am ever ready to tell. I'll probably be telling them through my books. I'm an up-and-coming author of fictional narratives, and I've been writing my whole life, and only in 2022 did I ever finally start writing my own characters with the idea that maybe one day I'd publish some stories, some books, some whatever. And yeah, I've written drafts upon drafts of certain books, scenarios, stories, and I still don't know that I'm ready to publish them. Well, I'm certainly not ready to publish anything right now because I've got some behind the scenes things need to happen. But anyway, eventually there will probably come a time when you can log on to ann-v.com and find a link that says buy my books or something. Or download my books. Buy a downloadable copy of my book. That's what's going to happen. Or click here to access how to buy or where to download my book. Yeah, they'll probably be available in print, but they're going to be on Bard, Braille and audio reading service, or they'll be on Audible, or they'll be available as Word documents or screen reader friendly PDFs. I won't have it any other way. I'm tired of not being able to read print and having books that I hear about and I can't read them because they're not available in anything but print, which I can't read due to disability, due to blindness. But that's not the point of this video. See, I swerve. This video is to talk about the two sides of the parental spectrum and why one of the many problems plaguing this world, I think. This is one of the many problems plaguing this world. There are two sides of the parental spectrum. One side is screw everybody, your way is the only way. Wait. Wow, that I didn't even write that right. One way is screw everybody, I'm going to do things my way and fuck you if you don't like it. That's not how I was raised. And that's part of the reason for making this video is, I guess, in response to something I read a long time ago, or something that has come up more than once in my Facebook feed. I am a child of the 80s and 90s. The 80s were what I would call the best half of my childhood, and the 90s were, I hate to say it, but depending on where in the 90s I was, it was either the worst or the, like, maybe second best, depending on where I was. But even at the second best times, it could have been better if I had been, if certain things hadn't happened the way they did. But either in the worst part or the second best part, when there were certain people who kind of kept it going the worst. I'm not going to get into those details, but the point is, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, and I kind of, because of that, I end up reading a lot of child of the 80s and 90s, like Facebook posts and different things. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. It's been referred to that kids today are so much more disrespectful than we are, or than kids when I was growing up. And unfortunately, I think that's true, at least to some extent. I mean, well, it's probably true altogether. Let's face it, I don't get out in the world and hear just how disrespectful kids can be. And I'm kind of glad about that, because I probably, if I heard some of the things that kids today say, I would probably, I'd think, kiddo, you should be glad I'm not your mom, because that would be, on the one hand, I would want, again, my child to not be, how do I word this? To not feel like I did. On the other hand, some of the things that, this is why, like I say, my videos are not made for kids, because I openly acknowledge that I cuss, and I don't think it's right for us to cuss around our kids and then wonder, where did you hear that language? Out of your face, that's where. You know, I'm sorry, I completely swerve, but being a child of the 80s and 90s, I enjoy listening to those types of, like, TV. And there was a public service message, or I don't know, an advertisement, a public service message type scenario, where this dad's confronting his teenager. I guess he found a crack pipe or something, or a weed, a blunt or something. And he's confronting him. He's like, who taught you how to do this stuff? And the kid finally goes, you did, okay? I learned it from watching you. See, kids hear us and they emulate us, and this is why I let myself be just completely authentic in my videos and then say, no, this is not a video that's made for kids. Because I don't necessarily want a kid hearing everything I have to say And along the same lines, I don't know how parents can cuss in front of their kids and then expect their kids to not pick that up. Anyway, and those parents aren't necessarily trying to teach their kids, fuck everybody, all I care about is me. But that might be an idea that they kind of end up with if they see that from their parents, if their parents have that kind of attitude. On the other hand, there's the other end of the spectrum, which is what I was raised on, at least for the second half of my childhood. It's okay with me, we'll do it your way, and after all, your authority is all that matters. You are the authority figure, and your way is the only way that matters. I have no opinion. I have no value. I do have an opinion, but I have no value. It's fine. We'll do it your way. Maybe the people who raised me through the second half of my childhood, it's not the second half of my childhood, it was like the second 8 years of my childhood, but then it extended due to circumstances beyond that, and I didn't break free of that until I was 23, which is 5 years after most people. I don't know about most people. The law acknowledges that a child is an adult when they're 18. I took on that adulthood at age 23 when I was finally like, okay, I'm ready for this to end. But then I was raised so it's okay with me, we'll do it your way, that I didn't know how to handle the authority that came with that. And to this day, I'm still learning how to own my authority and figure out how to use it. But the point of this video is, isn't there any kind of middle ground? Isn't there a mid-spectrum? I think one of the problems we have in this world, now I'm just reading this straight off of my Braille notes. I think one of the problems we have in this world is that people don't know how to parent at mid-spectrum, so you either end up with kids who have no respect for authority, or you have kids like me who are in their middle-aged and don't know how to stand up for themselves because it's been so burned into them, and I mean burned into them without anesthesia, that their opinion, their feelings, their point of view doesn't matter. And so when they do have a little bit of authority, enough to say, no, that's not how I want my life to go, they don't know how to use that authority because it's so instilled in them that their needs, their feelings, their viewpoints don't matter.
Speech on. Take picture. Pause video. Stop recording video. Button.
Just one opinion I have about just something to think about. Thanks for watching. Thank you if you listened all the way to the end. Thank you if you didn't listen all the way to the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.